Right, folks, how are we? Hope to find you all very well and good. Today, obviously, as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, we have a new job. We are the manager of AC Milan here in Italy. So, sticking with Italy still, we've got a pretty decent squad here. Obviously, last time out you would have seen we were sort of forcefully made to resign from Fiorentina. Don't know, kind of close enough. But yeah, after that, we didn't get a job straight away, so it has been a season since the Fiorentina time. But in between getting the job at AC Milan, we actually managed, or still am managing, the US men's national team. And as you can see here, we did have the World Cup as well. We had a friendly. We did have some other games, so I'll show you where I picked up. It was somewhere in August, so I didn't play the game against Canada. That's the one the previous manager was sacked against. But yes, we did play Trinidad and Tobago, played Honduras, Dominican Republic, Trinidad and Tobago again, Bolivia, and Paraguay. From the results here, you'd think it's a pretty good squad. It's decent enough. It's not the best US men's national team. I was like, okay, well, there's obviously some really good players. There's Pulisic, there's Rayner, McKinney, probably other players I'm forgetting as well. But I was like, looking at them, the regions, they're pretty average for the rest of them. And we did have a game against England. You can see there, England are just far and away, just so much better. 5-1 thrashing. Did beat Wales, though, 5-2. Northern Ireland 2-1, and then we lost 2-1 to Portugal. That was actually a really good friendly. I quite enjoyed that. But anyway, we had our World Cup, which was the 2030 World Cup. If we can we go and view it somehow? Stages. Oh, there we go. Stages, not current season. 2030. So if we go to, we were Group O. We topped our group, 2 wins from 2 games. It's only 3 teams in each group now, which is a bit weird. But yeah, we beat Turkey and we beat New Zealand, home of me, which was great. And then, so we got through to the second round. If we can find where we were. There we go. We beat Costa Rica 5-0. Fantastic. Then we went to the third round where we played Brazil and we beat Brazil 2-0. Fantastic. We got all the way to the quarterfinals before being knocked out by eventual winners Italy on penalties. It was a 1-1 draw, and then we took it to penalties. Unfortunately, we did lose that, but it is what it is. Semi-finals, you had Turkey beating Spain and Italy beating Argentina after extra time. Third place, Spain beat Argentina 3-1. And then the final was Turkey. Turkey, who were in our group that finished second, made it all the way to the final of the World Cup and were beaten 1-0 by Italy. But yeah, other than that, not too much to say. We've had a couple of friendlies since, a 5-0 and a 4-0. We've got a couple of friendlies coming up as well. Won't really bore you with the national team stuff, as there's not a tournament coming up. I don't know if there's a tournament coming up. It's just friendlies. But yeah, it's a decent team. I don't think I'll keep managing them until the next World Cup. If you wanted to see the other winners, here we go. 2022 was England, 2026 was Belgium, and now Italy 2030. Yeah, I probably won't manage the national team for too much longer, since there's no more, it's only friendlies. But anyway, let's get into what everybody wants to see, which is the journey here with AC Milan. So we've got a pretty decent team, I must say. I quite like the look of them. We've had 1 win so far. Go through that. We started the season off with a 6-0 thrashing against Manchester United. Not sure I was in charge for that one. I possibly was. I can't quite remember. I did start it at the end of the World Cup when they did offer me the job. We were still in the World Cup, and they offered me the chance of starting now or starting at the end of the tournament. So we'll focus on the tournament since we are through to the quarterfinals. So we arrived pretty late in the window, or not quite late, but you know what I mean. Anyway, 4-0 victory over Crotone in a friendly, 1-1 draw against Juve, 4-0 over Lazio, 2-0 over Sampdoria, and a 1-0 over Tigres. We versed this team for the Europa Conference. We beat them 6-0 on aggregate, FC Botasani from Romania. Fantastic. And then we had our first Serie A game against Hellas Verona, which was a 4-0 victory as well. And then we follow that up with that. You can see our Europa League conference group. We've got some team from Albania, from Portugal, and from Croatia. Dynamo Zagreb, obviously going to be the hardest one. I think this team should probably be a reasonable victory for us, I guess. This here, I don't know too much about Guimaraes, but they do have Marco Silva in charge. So I'm sure they're probably reasonably decent enough to get into the Europa Conference League anyway, so we will have to watch out for them. They could be a bit of a sleeping giant, but yeah, definitely need to watch out for Dynamo Zagreb. Although they haven't won the Croatian League for quite some time, since 2022-23, which is a bit of a surprise, to be honest. Who has been winning it? Hajduk Split, eh? And then, fair enough. Anyway, let's get into some of the signings and everything. That's what people want to see. So, we'll quickly go through. This was the most expensive signing of the window, and it wasn't even made by me. Eric Lemoyne was already here when I arrived, or the deal had already been sanctioned when I arrived. But I'm not complaining about that. He looks like an absolutely fantastic player. Arrived for 68 million from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he looks really good. So I'm not complaining. He looks like he can play as a right winger or as a striker. We will be playing him on the right wing predominantly, though, as we do have really good strikers. Familiar face has come back. He's just spent a decent few seasons at Southampton. We did win the league with him, but he's come back to Italy in his older, or I guess sort of his prime years as he dwindles down his career. He's come to AC Milan. It's Mohamed Koulibaly. And yeah, brought him in for 55 million back in 2023-24. 6 years later, coming back for 40 million. So looking forward to playing him again. We know he's a pretty consistently good player. He played 154 games and scored 15 goals. So not too bad. Player from Borussia Dortmund now, a centre-half or centre-back. Looks like an absolute beast. Look at this. Natural fitness 19, jumping reach 16, balance 17, heading 16, tackling 15, strength 16. He's 6'1", 82 kgs. And 33.5 mil, and that was it. Enrique Fernandez was put on the transfer list of Borussia Dortmund, and I was in there. He can play left wing and left wing back, which is fantastic. So he's a pretty versatile, but he does want his preferred position to be centre back. So he will be starting at centre back. But yeah, really looking forward to him. He's only 22, so his potential ability, while it says that he's currently operating at his ability, he should get slightly better, hopefully. And then we go in, we got a bit of another backup sort of player, Oscar Bascagli, 32-year-old Frenchman. Plays as our left back. He is really just our backup left back. People aren't too happy about signing him, which I guess is a bit rude. But yeah, he came in from China. He's come from the Chinese Super League for 31 mil. He really is just a backup. I wouldn't say quite an emergency backup. He's definitely wasn't worth the 31 mil, but he should be decent enough, and there was actually quite a lack of funds and decent quality defenders by the time I came around as well. So anyway, we'll move on. We got another Italian striker. This one is a backup to our current striker, who you will see is an absolute beast. This is Jacopo Sottini. I'm just going to call him Sottini because for some reason I can't say Jacopo. Comes in for 26 million from Udinese. They bought him for 28 mil. He's been fairly consistent, 15, 13 goals. So looks like an absolute star, and he's Italian, which will hopefully help us with our homegrown quota as well. But yes, Eberetzi Itze has come in as well. He looks a little bit past his best, but he is, again, just a backup player that can play in these midfield and on the left wing as well. Comes in for 24 million. For some reason, last season he was on loan in a Romanian club from Blackburn Rovers. But he did score 10 goals, which is the best of his career. Well, not quite the best of his career. His best of his career was 1920 when he scored 14, but still. And then again, he scored 14 when he was at Leeds. So he has moved around a bit. He's mainly played in the Championship, so he hasn't really had the chance to showcase what he can do. But he's been really consistent playing in the Championship-ish. But yeah, hopefully he does all right here. Again, he is just a bit of a backup. Another backup as well is Isaac Laharge. Lahoy, I don't know quite how to say it. Again, another young sort of winger that hasn't really lived up to the promise as well. Where did he come from? Went to Lille on a free. He's been loaned out perennially. He's played in Italy before with Hellas Verona. 4 goals, so he can score them here. He played a bit out in Serbia. He's played again in Holland. He's been on loan last season in Spain where he's got 3 goals and 2 assists. We brought him in for Ajax, 24 million, and that is it. So he's still 28. He's got a bit of time, but he's probably in his prime. And yeah, hopefully he can do the job for us. Again, just a backup. Another player that we've got from Borussia Mönchengladbach is 16.25 million, Juan Basaka. He looks pretty decent. Again, he is a little bit older. That seems to be a running theme at the moment, actually. I have been bringing in a lot of the older folk. As the save goes on, most of the players that are actually real will be sort of older and will be all the named players, really. Ones that you'll actually have heard of will be the older folk. But yeah, he's still pretty good. He's a regular starter in his prime years. He's our first choice right back. There was another player that I was after that was going to be his backup, and they were sort of going to switch between the two. Juan Basaka could be backup depending on him, but that didn't come off, unfortunately. Either way, he's still a really good player, and yeah, he's played 217 games for Borussia Dortmund, so can't be too bad. His backup is Jeremy Fayette. Yeah, this one is a bit of a dud signing. It was a bit of, I don't know. He's got decent stats, but if you ever look at the coach summary, he reckons he's good for most Serie B sides, which is not ideal. And he has really been all over the show. He's played in Belgium. He went to the US and played for LAFC for a bit. He went back to France, moved again, went back to Belgium. We bought him for 10.25, which is probably a bit more than what he's worth, but if he comes in and does a decent enough job, then it's fine. Yeah, welcome Jeremy. And then another one that I didn't bring in that was already arrived was Giannis Petit, who came in on a free transfer from Nantes, and we just sent him back out on loan to Caen in the first division of France. So hopefully he will develop and become a pretty decent player, but he's still only 20 years old. And yeah, that is it. 273 million spent, 140 out. And if we just have a look at some of the bigger names, Theo Hernandez came to me, said he wanted to play Champions League football. I said, can you wait and we can try and get it this season? He's like, nah, mate, I want to play it now. And I was like, well, we all want to play Champions League football, Theo. What makes you any different from the rest of us? But he was also on 425k a week here. And he's like, I want to be transfer listed, so off he goes. Transfer listed him, could be up to 34 million in potential add-ons, but at the moment it's 25.5. And he's gone to divisional rivals and domestic rivals, or just rivals, Inter, which is just fantastic, just what we wanted, yeah. So stoked with that, not really. He has taken quite the big pay cut to go there as well, considering he was on 425k. But that's fine. We sold Melvin Bard to Zenit St. Petersburg. He was our left back. He also wanted to leave. 19 million for him. Dawid Bouger, he's gone to Red Bull Salzburg. Norwegian, he also was our right back before we got in Aaron Juan Basaka. He also wanted to leave, so that was fine. Sold him for 18.5. Nathan Nandes, he's gone to Lyon. We sold him for 13 million. Only came in last season, 31 mil. He was already on the transfer list when I arrived, and yeah, he was playing at Tottenham just a season before that. It seems to be. He was at Lyon for quite a bit as well, and then he moved to Tottenham, then to us, and now he's gone back to Lyon. Yeah, rather weird. Seems to move every season, so poor fella can't stay in the same place. Paul Liora, you might have recognised him from Fiorentina. We did sell him to AC Milan, and then we've sold him again, so probably not my biggest fan. Took a huge loss on him as a club, 9.75 million to Parma, but he's 33 years old, so yeah. Marco Mora, sold him for 7.5 to Sampdoria. Only played 9 games for us, 3.3 mil. There was a lot of dead wood at the club, and we just got out as much as we really could. Pemble Pontes went to Torino for 6.5. Again, did take $1 million loss on him, but that's fine. Frank Kessie, another player that wanted to leave. I was quite surprised that he was still actually at the club. He's gone to Levante for 6 mil, 7.5 in potential add-ons. He was another player that wanted... No, he was one of the ones that wanted just a change of scenery sort of thing. I was like, right here. Timmy Nicholson, we've sold him as well. Uruguayan, strange name for a Uruguayan, but fair enough. Who am I to judge? Made a decent profit on him, 6 million. He's off to PSV. Fernando Centali, a decent Italian midfielder, 23 years old. He's gone to Hanover for 5 mil. Uber Fuanza, again, another decent player. He's gone to Nuremberg for 4.8. Damir went to Udinese, attacking midfielder on the right. He's gone for 3.7. Luigi Ranieri, he is also gone for 2.7. Martin Koch, he's gone to Belgium with Beerschot. He could be decent. He's gone for 2.2. Rocco, he's gone to Vitrasinella for 2.1. Don't ask me how to say this. Vuka, he's gone, Serbian winger. He's gone to Sassuolo for 1.6. And then, yeah, I won't go through all of them because it's really not that interesting. They're just people that are young players that weren't actually or didn't really have too much to do. A few players have gone on loan. Don't know why we've loaned someone to Roma. 32-year-old. Oh, he was already gone when I arrived. That is correct. We've loaned a few players out. Some of them do have fees. Some of them don't. Some of them do have options to buy. I can't quite remember which ones do have an option to buy. But they do also have a buyback as well. So if they do get good, then we can buy them back reasonably easy, which is fantastic. So happy with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will go over quickly our team. This is okay. Well, it's not quite the strongest team as the bench is half emptied, but this is almost the strongest 11. Okay, it's not really at all. Actually Koulibaly, and it's, yes, Gallarde, and then it is Arnie's up there with Lorenzo Martella, and Christian Romero's already there. Enzo Fernandez, but he wants to play as a centre. That is our strongest 11. So quickly go. We still have Gianluigi Donnarumma, who's played 555 games for us. He did come to me. He was questioning whether he wanted to stay, but thankfully I managed to convince him. So hopefully, worried about what? Lack of competition for places. I don't think you need to worry about that, buddy. You've got 136 caps. You're only 31 years old, and he's still in his prime. He's going to be fantastic. Very world-class goalkeeper. Love to see him still at AC Milan. Lorenzo Martella, he's more of a centre-back, but he is going to play as a left-back with his pace especially and his tackling. But yeah, I see him more as a left-back, especially since we only have Oscar Basaka as our other left-back. But yeah, he looks pretty good. There's Christian Romero, 32 years old, Argentinian. We do have a lot of older folk here. Just seems to be the way. Normally I'm buying a lot of young players, but we've changed it up. You saw Enrique Fernandez. I should swap them over. You saw Juan Basaka. This is Gallarde. He is fantastic. Really looking forward to his season. He's only ever played for us. He's played for quite some time, 120 games for the club, so very, very good. So you saw Koulibaly. We know how good he is. We've got Christian Bushi, or Bucky. Bushi, I'm going to say. It's probably pronounced as. Did have a couple of bids rejected for him because Chelsea did come sniffing. But yeah, he's pretty good. Argentinian winger, decent enough. Then there's Alessandro Arnaiz, who he's not quite. I mean, he can play there, but he's not natural. But that's fine. He'll play there anyway. He looks pretty good. You saw Eric Lemoyne, and then the creme de la creme, kind of Claudio Corione. He is fantastic. He is really good. He's come from Sampdoria. Oh no, he was on loan at Sampdoria. He's come through the AC Milan Youth Academy, which is even better. And yeah, fantastic. 59 goals in 148 games. Can't go wrong. But yes, that is going to do it for today. It has been a reasonably long episode. We will come back with games against Juventus and Dynamo Zagreb in the next episode, which I will record straight away. And yeah, thanks a ton for watching, folks. We'll catch you in the next one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.